Welcome, everyone, to week 17. We are in Fantasy Championships 17. It's the Josh Allen week. Let's go.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the
Film festival, it's just a golf clap, right? They don't actually give you like a real clap. I feel like it's very, high society. They're not going to give you
Yeah, it's like a queef clap. Like
I'm never gonna get that image out of my head. Queef
like that Moana.
Very clear 101 in this biggest foot in the mouth draft. And the 101, it's very clearly Rex Ryan, because that guy has definitely put some feet in the mouth.
That's so good.
100%. Guy loves feet, his white feet.
Big feet.
Lots of feet in
Little
the mouth.
feet.
I'm sure.
So many feet. Long live Dolly Parton.
Hold on, I gotta look up how she
Is not
is.
you're looking? Wait, do you not know who Dolly Parton is?
No, I know who she is. I'm just trying to see what she looks like now.
She's still with us.
No, I want to see what she looks like now, because like 10 years ago I would have. Oh, I still would. 100% still would. Absolutely. How old is she? She's got to be like 80, right? Are you judging me? I can't see you because I'm looking at Google.
That ticker. Let me see.
you're
And
judging.
the double mustache and that is fucking gross. So welcome.
I do want to be clear, though, that I have earned one, and Lou is depressed. There's a big difference. Lou is still trying to convince 16-year-olds he's cool, and they keep telling him they don't want weed from him. They can get it from anywhere.
Oh, that was earlier. How is my depressed Lou doing? Louie, how you doing, bud?
I think we both have a little bit of depression here this week. You on a whatever, and me specifically, I got my ass kicked in week 16, and dreams of some big money. We'll talk about it a little bit at 6 o'clock or so on Sunday evening. I was sitting 11th in the FFPC Big Gorilla Championship, which pays about 20,000. The top prize pays $1 million. I was sitting in a good spot, so much so that I texted Kyle Turner, the one that we just saw making fun of me on the podcast, texted him and said, I'm not sure I can go to the Bills game on Sunday because I think I'm gonna have a real sweat for like $1 million. Everything after that has gone horribly wrong. That game last night was so fucked up. With how much San Fran scored and Purdy and all these. So it pushed me back big time. And I'm in 84th, which, pays 1,500.
Only 10 people were in that draft. Now you're somehow.
Yeah. Somehow I am. Hi, Renee. Hi. Nice to meet you. Thanks for listening. It was a big change. I at 6 o'clock when I was in 11th, I'm not even joking. I was planning the vacations. I was looking for the house. I was a millionaire in my head. And now sitting in 84th, it's going to take a lot of work to get up anywhere close to the top. I'd say that, my max might be like $3,000 or something, but that is not doing much compared to like my this might be. I would need a decent week to not have my first negative ROI like on fantasy in like 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's it's a little frustrating. I lost all my underdogs teams that I had done. Ryan is live in a few. He's got a couple big boards and stuff. We might talk about that later if he gets on. So Ryan's got about 5 different bullets for some big paydays next week. So we'll be excited for that. Me specifically, because I'll need the loan. And we got that.
So listeners, if you are also feeling sad, the theme of this week's Fantasy Football Podcast is Lieutenant Dan. We are all really sad. It's New Year's Eve, and we are just sadly looking out onto Times Square. So that I'm sorry. I had a good week in my fantasy league. I made the championship. So I guess it goes back into whoever cares less is most in control. So
You are going to end up having a better return on investment than me already, because you're probably already in the plus here, at least getting the second place. Who are you facing? Are you facing the first place commish that we've had problems with all year?
yes, we are facing the corrupt commish. That's his name on fantasy football. I am Team Bijan Mustard, and guys, we are my first. It's a family league. First time they invited me, and I don't think I'm going to be invited back next year because I have really destroyed. So I don't knowing the comparison, and we'll get into that in a second, or not in a second, in a few minutes, but. Not that matters. A few minutes versus seconds doesn't matter. We'll get into it, but has such a strong team, and my backup right now is an injured Mahomes, so it's tough. Football, ladies, am I right?
Who are you? Who are you going? I mean, before let's get. I know we want to get into everything and nothing, but who are we? Who we got at quarterback options?
Okay, so let me open. Okay, sir, we are at. So I currently have, which is kind of gross for me to say out loud. I have starting Aaron Rodgers, and then Mahomes is benched, which is crazy. Williams from Detroit is playing wide receiver. T. Higgins, Cookie who's had a great few games. He's my running back. Barkley, Bowers, but I sat Fannin, who had a amazing weekend. So I think I'm going to put him in as my tight end. And then I have Aubrey from Dallas, and then Philly's my defense. So sitting though, this is the thing. I had Dobbs in last week. Do I like, what do we feel about that? I have Myers, Tucker, I have Gadsden, and Jacksonville are benched. So
what do you get? So, you can't, because your waivers are done, right? You said so. You have to stick with Rodgers at your quarterback, yes, right?
And I'm up against Joe Burrow. JSN is up against. So I mean, he has JSN. He has Puka, CMC, Jones Sr., Kittle, Flowers, Myers, and Baltimore. So he is stacked. He has not lost a game. So understandably, I'm just going to say this again. I had a C- draft. I drafted 5th in my league. And the guy that went 1 for 1, he is in first place. So it does prove the point about drafting. But my C- draft, taking second place overall. I just want to say, everyone who gets a little disheartened and the first week, don't listen to those drafts, because me and my goofy bad draft is doing pretty well. So
it is going to be such irony when Aaron Rodgers wins you your fantasy championship after shitting on him for as long as you have.
It'll be
that is really great.
It's gonna happen. But by the way, I only picked him up a couple weeks ago, and I did have who just went up in LA? Who's our guy? Philip Rivers. I had Philip Rivers all year round, everyone. And what happened? So let's do a little fun game of everything and nothing. For anyone who's new is listening, I like to talk about things that have nothing to do with football, because Ryan and Louie are so busy always talking sports. I like to talk about pop culture. Sometimes it does include sports. So let's see. Emotional maturity on men. So I know it's the end of the year. We've got another podcast. Are we doing next week with the New Year's Eve? Maybe.
Maybe we'll probably take off next week and do a playoff thing the week following. So
okay, cool.
But yeah, stay tuned for that. But most likely we will probably be off next week because of the holiday.
Okay, so I'm going to go, we're going to talk a little Nicki Minaj. So Nicki Minaj has a big beef with Cardi B. And I will say long live Cardi B, because she's with Stephon Diggs, former Buffalo Bills, also now New England Patriots. But Nicki Minaj was, I don't know if you saw this, not to get too political, it's not going to get into it too much, but she was at a very Republican kind of convention sort of thing. And yada, yada, yada. Nicki Minaj was on there with a bunch of MAGA people. Nicki Minaj lost 10 million followers after like a 20-minute panel, which is kind of bonkers because that's 10 million people that's ever viewed any of my accounts. But have you ever lost anyone from something you've said, Lou?
I mean,
you like that?
Are we talking about podcast listeners? Are we talking about girlfriends? There, yeah, a lot.
Whatever said you are, go for it. Whatever you got to say.
I will never shy away. I think we may have talked about this on the last podcast, but maybe it was one of the other podcasts I talked or one of the other ones I jumped on. But like, people are mean, man. We have had a couple like little viral videos lately, and everybody makes fun of my glasses and my laugh, and I don't think that's nice. It's a holiday season. So you know, I get that I say some dumb shit on this show a lot. And people don't have to follow me, but isn't like what's the saying, like no
6, 7
no press is bad press. Yeah, 6, 7.
yeah, okay, I guess that.
Yeah, like I'm shocked that she lost that many people. That's funny. I also was like, was I the only one that was like shocked by it? Is Nicki Minaj the one with Stephon Diggs? Or is that Cardi B? That's Cardi B. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, little surprising for sure. For me. And then didn't know that. I'm surprised every day politically in this world that we're living in. When some people follow a certain guy that I just don't understand. But
yeah, it's great. And for any just audio listeners, Louis is right now taking his pie out and unraveling about 9 feet of hair. So
it's so hard. It's so hard.
So speaking of not understanding humans, this is something that makes me laugh. I don't know why, but passwords of 2000 common passwords of 2025 just came out. The number one password. So everyone, if you're on YouTube right now, if you're on anything, the number one password, which could be one of us that are watching, listening, or talking. Louis, do you want to guess the number one password is?
Just any password that people are.
You can guess anything that I'll tell you if it's in the top.
Yeah. Is gonna be something to do with 143.
Weekend, it's not 6969. Alas, it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if anyone grew up in the 80s or 90s, QWERTY did not make the list. So password made the number 8 spot. The numbers 1 through 6 made the first, second 1 through 8. And that's.
I know last week we said we weren't going to acknowledge some of these. All of a sudden we got all these new listeners, and it's just become a goon off for Allie. I don't know what it is, but I was just complaining about how people say they make fun of my glasses and my laugh. This guy's in here saying she's way too hot to be on this channel.
You're
she should
so
be
sweet.
At home in my mansion.
Yeah, that's so sweet, weekend wingman. But I have my own mansion I'm living in currently, so I'm good. But I appreciate it. That's very sweet. Me and this clavicle are staying put.
I did think the 6969 guess was good for a password.
But weekend wingman, if for again audio listeners chose the number one password would be 6969. I don't think that makes the 6 character one a special character minimum. So alas, you might have to add another 9 or a 6 and a pound sign. Pound and a 69. Ladies, am I right? Okay. So, speaking of pound, I know we were talking earlier about just Christmas shopping. Lou, you said you're pretty much done. I know.
Yes. Are you ever done? I feel confident that the people I give a shit about will have something on Christmas. There's a couple people that are lower on that list that I am that I don't have that I'm going to hope to have at some point tomorrow if I get the time. But doing the true guy thing, and we'll be doing some Christmas Eve shopping tomorrow for sure.
If you need someone to shop with you, or if you want to drive, take me along, because I have about 3 like important people in my life, i.e. my dad, my mom, brother-in-law. But somebody requested on my shopping list some protein chips. So I was going to put some as a stocking stuffer, purchase it online. And it was supposed to be a 12-pack, and only one came in on Amazon, like with a sticker. So that was $36. Thank you, Jeff Bezos, for ruining one of my Christmas presents. I have my brother-in-law requested TEA. Yeah. So I guess when he comes over for Christmas, I'm going to try to break him and my sister up, because that's
I'm drinking tea right now.
Yeah, but you know what? You might just purchase your own 40 cents of hot water. And,
this one's an apple pie tea, and I don't think it was just 40 cents. I think this one was part of the special pack, you know?
Yeah, that's I get it. So you're good right now with that. So here's the thing. We're going to talk about Santa. So you and I we're talking about stuff here earlier. Jelena, I know your daughter, you guys just did a Christmas thing, and Christmas. So here's a hot take. In 2nd grade, I was a monster, and I've said this before in the podcast. I was that awful kid whose parents, my mom told me that she wouldn't lie. It was a Catholic guilt thing. And in 2nd grade, I told Haley Spangler that I had a secret, and I told her there's no Santa. Haley now is a doctor, like a cancer researcher. So she's, saving lives. Did I single-handedly am I in the pie chart of like curing cancer, or did I just ruin someone's life is what I want to know.
Let's say that you traumatized her into being a better person than you, and that led to her finding medicine and
science.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Is that, I mean, I don't know if I blew up anybody's spots. I do remember when I found out. So your mom just was like, this is the thing.
My mom was like, I don't lie because you can't lie.
Did you ever remember a day that you believed in it? Like, or was she right, like 4 years old? Like, this is from me. Santa's not real.
She definitely pulled her name. She didn't even put mom. She wrote Mary. I'm not going to lie to you. My real name is Mary. And I was like, Mom. I think my dad pulled a Santa he wrote it on presents. But by that time I was like, all right, my dad's handwriting. And then I became a Nancy Drew, you know?
I snooped probably around 8 years old. I think. Yep. I was snooping and found my Ultimate Warrior. What were those pillows? Remember the wrestling pillows, wrestling buddies? Yep. And I found one in my mom's closet. And so I was like, oh shit, yeah, I'm getting it. And then on Christmas, it was from Santa. And I was like, this bitch has been lying to me for 8 years. And started my trust issues right then. That was it. Been dealing with it ever since.
But there has to be some research into how obvious it is that your parents are the ones giving you the gift. And I know a lot of parents now, a lot of friends who will do like the garbage gifts, like the socks, the things that you need. They'll say from Santa, and all the good gifts they like take credit for, which makes a lot of sense. Like the bike, the dollhouse, but then the, I don't know what people buy their kids, helmets. I don't know. That's from Santa. What do parents buy kids?
A lot of now. I think it's just anything on the deal days for Amazon.
Oh yeah. So, do we want to talk football now? Do we want to get into some sports?
Yeah. We can talk. I do want. So quickly, we could get into the games, but two things. I don't need to get into all the fiasco of. I said the FFPC. I got some dynasty teams in my championships. I'll be fine there. I have I'm 44th in the marathon on underdog. So that's going to be anywhere from like 1,500 to 2,500. I had a BBM team that had Puka and Stafford, who both had monster games, and somehow still didn't win and get through. I finished second, so that sucked. So it was a really rough week. The Bills, I am very invested in Josh Allen. Everybody who is invested in Josh Allen definitely got hurt this week, as he only had 5 fantasy points with the James Cook and the running game doing a lot. So that Bills game was a disaster. I wanted to run something by you that I found out this week, and it is so crazy just from the start of it to tell the story is how this is a good way to tell you how disconnected I have come with sports and the Bills even. And I don't really know how I got here, maybe old age, stress, whatever, but there was never in a million years where I would make this mistake. My ex and my mother and my child are all going on a cruise together. That's not the mistake, although it sounds like it is. I know it sounds like it's not going to be a great time. It's not my whatever, but my daughter wants me there and I'll be there. So we're going on a cruise. I kind of especially when it's something I'm not interested in and like kind of dreading, I'm very hands off with that type of stuff. I said, you guys book it. You tell me where to go and when to go, and I'll be there. The weekend that it is the possible AFC Championship game. Ooh. Now, there's very, very small chance that the Bills will be hosting that game now with how the standings are. It would be highly unlikely, probably like a 5% chance that the Bills would even host that game. If they hosted that game, I think I would be insanely nuts. Like
January 9th weekend?
What's that?
The January 9th weekend?
No, the 25th.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that would be the AFC Championship game. January 9th, I think, would be the first playoff game. But if they hosted that game, I really, really don't know what I would do. I'm not, but I mentioned it to like Kyle and Jesse. I was like, I don't know what I would do. And they were like, absolutely. You're not going to you're not deserting your family to go. And I was like, but am I? Is it 100% wrong to even think about it? Is what I'm asking you. And also in my new working out days, I think I can jump overboard and swim right up the East Coast, have them pick me up around Hoax off of Route 5 right before the game, and still get there. No? I'm being unrealistic.
We wouldn't be hosting. I don't think our position says hosting.
It would be very we'll probably go in as the 5 or 6 seed. So that only gives us like literally 1 or 2 teams that would have to make it with us. It would be very unlikely, but even then, I mean, whatever. This one, I'll say that I would be being unrealistic, but I do want to be in the city, even if it's an away game. I would like to be in the city the day that we clinch the Super Bowl, but it doesn't mean that I'll be home for the actual Super Bowl for the parade and everything.
I'm with you on this. I say most people, I think most people who have a team they love are in the same boat that we are. As playoff games, you stay in the city, you love it, you support, you freak out, you set it on fire. And then if it's a Super Bowl, because no one who goes to a Super Bowl is from either team's location, like they're not, if it's LA versus Buffalo, I mean, LA is different, but because everyone's a transplant, but like Buffalonians aren't going. There's a small percentage are, because it's so stressful that you want to be in a dark place, like a literal dark room, no one's talking, and then you're just going to be rocking back and forth, right? Like that's the idea of a Super Bowl. But I get it, where you want to clinch a Super Bowl, you want to be in a city. I'm with you. I love your ex, I love your daughter, but you gotta desert them. You can't.
Okay, good. I'm glad we're on board.
Lovely humans. I really enjoy them both, but they have to
We'll see.
I'm
But the
focused on-
next, if I would have put any thought into it, the next week is like the bye week in between the championship game and the Super Bowl. I just didn't think about that. Is probably the better question. If I did all the research, all the phone calls,
yeah.
all that stuff, would it be okay to suggest the change?
I'm gonna say
No.
no. I say do it. I say change
Okay.
it. Change it up. I think there's too much pressure. It's like it's like we would do the same thing if you knew there was a hurricane coming up. You'd be like, maybe I shouldn't go to the bus that weekend. You would do the same thing. So if you know that there's potential advancement to the Buffalo Bills, yeah. And I just want to point out this conversation is making me look very hungry. Like, what is going on? Who is she? Audio listeners, it looks like I had a really bad stomach flu for the last 2 months. My collarbone is popping.
That's what the kids are calling the hot. That's hot now. That's it. Everyone's showing their collarbone.
Let me stay. Let
right.
live in your mansion.
Let's get into some games for as long as I know you want to get out of here soon. Ryan might be joining here, but if we don't hear from him here shortly, we'll bust through some games.
Yeah, we're gonna go through some games. I'm going to list the games, and then Louis is going to tell me his hot takes on it. Give me 1 second. I just lost my place. But as we all know, Christmas is on Thursday, and that means 3 games on Christmas Eve, which is very exciting. So first game is the 1:00 game on Christmas, and it is Cowboys versus Commanders. What do you got, Lou?
It is so insane that like all 3 of these games are going to just suck so hard. And just they really are. I mean, the team's records are now we got 3 like injured quarterbacks in all these games, so you're going to be having Dak Prescott against Josh Johnson here in this game. Josh Johnson's played for like, yeah, exactly. He's played for like 20 different teams. He's been playing since I was born. It is, I mean, and somehow the over-under has gone up. It's like 50.5. So like there's going to be some points. Commanders are only a 7-point dog. I don't know. I did a podcast here on Sunday morning by myself. I don't know. I'm sure you saw it because I know you're always tuned in. But I came on it. I came on the nerd site to do some hot takes and some sit questions. And after those mostly failed, and then after my week 16 went the way I'm going to be a little bit careful with calling anything real hot and spicy takes here. But I do feel like these games all on Christmas are going to be weird, and you're facing like a bunch of teams that are not playing for anything really. In this game, both teams eliminated. I do think you'll see a big game from Pickens and this is one thing I've been pretty big on all years. Pickens over CeeDee Lamb, and I said it last week. I think there's another opportunity for that this week where Pickens will outperform him. And then when it comes to the Commanders, it's so tough to play anything. I mean, I don't know what Josh Johnson's going to give you. I really am not comfortable with anything there, but Chris Rodriguez. I called Chris Rodriguez a league winner on this podcast a few weeks ago. He's been fine. I think this is a really good matchup for him. So Chris Rodriguez, George Pickens, 2 guys I'm really zoning in on that game.
All right. Next up would be the fun 4:30 game. Right after dinner, we have the Lions versus Vikings. My boyfriend, Dan Campbell.
Whoa. That is, you said that way too nonchalantly. After dinner at 4:30? What time are you having Christmas dinner?
Like, I'm telling like a 1:30, 2 o'clock.
What?
You go late?
I feel like normal families are doing that. Like, I think you're right. We do a very late, like we're eating dinner like 5:36. My mom doesn't show up till like 8 with the pie. Like, you know, she was supposed to be there. Like, yeah, you know. But yeah,
the pie has cigarette ashes on it. You're like, Mom.
Well, 4:30 is not after dinner for us, but we won't be watching most of this game anyways. Again, another just like Now JJ McCarthy's hurt again. Max Brosmer played a game a few weeks ago, and it was maybe the worst quarterback game in the history of the league. So we get to watch him again on Christmas. I mean, these games, if these games don't scream spend time with your family on the holidays, I don't know what does, because these are just all dog shit. I wouldn't play anybody really on the Vikings offensively. The Lions are your regular guys. You're not going to sit Gibbs, St. Brown, or Jameson Williams. Anthony Fursker with a little comeback. I was a big Anthony Fursker guy in Dynasty about 10 years ago. Now he's on the comeback. He had a nice little game as like the 4th string Lions tight end because all the other ones are hurt. But he'll maybe be a nice little streaming start. I would be a little bit leery, even though I say and play those three skill position guys. I don't know if I love Goff in this game. Over under 43.5. I don't know. He's probably a back end quarterback 2 for me.
Okay. And now what about we have Broncos versus the Chiefs?
I'm not even going. I don't even know the Chiefs quarterback's name now. I forgot it. I probably can't say it. Gardner Minshew came in last week for Mahomes, and then he tore his knee up. So then a guy named, Chris Oladokin.
I feel like that's wrong, but I'll take it.
I never say anything right, but that's I think that's his name. And he came in and looked like dog shit. And it's again not going to be great there. So no Chiefs. I thought last week would be the week like that Kelsey. I talked about this Sunday morning where I really thought Kelsey might finally have a game because I thought maybe he's leaning towards retirement and they would just try to give him the ball more just so he had a couple big games before retirement. Now I'm starting to wonder if he's going to come back one more year because Mahomes will ask him to come back and do it again and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But I'm done playing any of the Chiefs. You just can't with this quarterback that I've never heard of. The Broncos, you have to be careful with the Broncos in this game because
they might put a bounty out on your head.
Well, but they also are going to get off to such a big lead that their quarterback and their wide receivers might not throw a lot in the second half. So they might have a cap of how high they can go. One less game or one less day of rest, or no, 4 more days. They're playing on Thursday. So short week. I don't love that for the Broncos. Maybe RJ Harvey at best, I would be playing that game, but all these games I think are going to be real, not just NFL duds, but fantasy duds as well.
Yeah. So next up, we have the lovely Saturday game. Now we are looking at Texans versus the Chargers, and we are trying to be cool and add a banner. Nope, it's still not doing anything. Why are we? Let's go. First up let's do Texans versus Chargers.
Yeah, that's going to be the game of the week as far as for the NFL. This is an important game. Not even important game for Bills fans a little bit. Over under 39.5. Another real low scoring game. I think this is going to be a defensive battle. Any offensive weapon against the Texans is tough to play. Vidal and Hampton have been splitting carries, so neither of them are great here. You never know which wide receiver is going to catch the ball with the Chargers, so I wouldn't be playing any of them against this great defense. The Texans, if Woody Marks comes back, could be a little bit interesting here. Nico Collins, you're definitely starting. I wouldn't be starting Stroud. Again, just another ugly game. I think you're going to see a lot of weird low scoring as we're going through these games, a lot of weird low scoring fantasy games this week. Another thing too, this time of year is we're getting all these injuries, these quarterback injuries. So there's not going to be a lot of scoring. they're closer games or more important games sometimes. So that usually goes to defensive battles and goes that way. But also weather changes, right? So like there's a lot of bad weather around, and that's part of the reason why all these over-unders are small. Speaking of bad weather, next game, go ahead.
So Ravens versus Packers. Now this game scares me, and I would like your take on this. I have, as we said earlier, Ron Rodgers as my quarterback who plays on Sunday. If the Ravens clinch and win, they'll probably sit Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, they won't. They won't. They can't clinch. They can't clinch. If they lost, I think Pittsburgh might clinch. Let me just look.
It's Ravens
It
lose.
could be if they lost. If Ravens lose, they might clinch. You might be right there, and then yeah, they could sit Rodgers. I didn't think that was the case. I didn't think that was the case, but that is scary. Yeah, that is scary. Hopefully, the league will make you make one exception for you.
Yeah, I'll be the only person left in at Heinz Field chanting "Fire Tomlinson," and they're like, "What?" He's doing pretty well now, and I'm like, "Yeah, you're right."
Well, I'll tell you what. Again, we've talked about quarterback injuries, but both Packers' top two quarterbacks left that game with an injury. Love with the concussion, Willis with a shoulder injury. So it's up in the air of whether or not either of them are playing. I honestly think if the Ravens win this game, they're going to win the division because they have a game against Pittsburgh next week. So I think the Ravens are going to be playing pretty hard this week. I actually like the Ravens to win. Again, very low over under. I'd be nervous about all Packers, and that's including Jacobs off the injury. If he doesn't play, Wilson's a must start. The wide receivers were already tough to decide if Love plays or if Love was playing. Love might not be playing, so the wide receivers are all over the place. I like Jaden Reed as like most consistent guy there. And the Ravens, Derrick Henry showed that he is still the king. I think you could start him pretty confidently. And then Zay Flowers is the only other guy in the Ravens offense that I'm starting.
I'm playing against Zay Flowers this weekend, and it's going to be my loss of the
He's Zay Flowers is a very good player if you're just kind of looking for like floor, like you're looking for a consistent 8 or 9 points. He's never going to score the 30 points. He's never going to have the monster game. Watch as I say that he will this week, and you'll be texting me mother effing, but I don't think he has that in him. So.
All right. Next up, we have Bucks versus the nicest coach in the league, the Dolphins.
Yeah. Who might be out of a job soon. I don't know. They keep on saying that they're going to bring him back.
For him.
This is getting really ugly there. Yeah. Bucks in a must win. That will lead to a big game for Bucky Irving. Mayfield's really looked like shit the last 5-6 weeks. And again, now all these wide receivers being involved there. They got 4 healthy wide receivers, Godwin, Evans, McMillan, and Ibuka. Ibuka has taken a big shit. He is definitely on the lowest of that totem pole. So he's almost a non-start. I don't think you could even get close to starting him. And then it's really trying to like throw a dart at Godwin, Evans. Evans is always going to get the touchdown, so Evans is probably startable there. And then the Dolphins, you have to start Achane, but even they started using Jalen Wright a little bit more here the last couple of weeks, so that Jalen Wright's usage took away from a big game from Achane last week, and then they got so far behind that they were using Jalen Wright more as like a passing back. Waddle, sure, but even he has not had big games. And with Quinn Ewers at quarterback, he looks like dog crap. I just don't see it happening. Achane might be the only guy in the Dolphins. I might start Jalen Wright if I was really looking for a fun flex, though.
All right. And now a division non-rivalry, Pats versus Jets.
Oh, as the Bills fans, we need Brady Cook to win us a game, and I just don't see that happening. Same. I mean, this is just the same thing we're talking about each game here. Low scoring, lopsided, like shitty quarterback on one side. The Patriots should roll here. That should be the running game mostly. Stevenson, Travion Henderson. I'm sure there will be some passing early on with Matt Collins and Stephon Diggs being worth starts there. But even that has a cap on it because they should get up big. And then the Jets, I'm going to keep saying the same guy I say every week for the Jets, and that's A.D. Mitchell. Although he did not really produce last week, I still think that if anybody's going to do it from the offensive standpoint, it is going to be him.
And weather will also seems like it'll play an important
factor
role
there. Yeah.
All right. Next up is Steelers versus Browns. We got some rust belts.
I'm going to call it here. I think the Browns beat them this week. And I know that's not great for your championship desires here because the over-under is only 33.5, which means they don't expect that's going to be bad weather too. They don't expect a lot of scoring. That defense is great. You just saw what they did against Josh. Now they get a chance to just like tee back and go after Aaron Rodgers, who also doesn't have DK Metcalf because he punched somebody. Surprised we didn't talk about that already.
Yeah. By the way, go on. No, he punched a fan. He punched a fan, right? By the way, don't punch people. I'll say that in general. Don't punch people unless you are a MMA fighter punching one of the Paul brothers. Go ahead. But like, punch Nazis, everyone. Punch a Nazi. I don't care. But don't. Like I just don't get how adults are like yelling at professional athletes. Like you're the weirdo wearing. By the way, and I'm an I watch sports, so I'm the weirdo in the fan. But like in the stands, like you're wearing some guy's name. You're an adult man wearing an adult man's name on your jersey, or a 23-year-old guy, and then you're stupid and like I'm revved up. I'm like on, what is he on? Like steroids or something? I don't know, whatever. I just think it's, I don't know. It's awful on both sides. It's annoying.
It does seem like it was a DK Metcalf problem here. I'm all about like players defending themselves and think they get too much shit. It does sound like whatever he thought was said, there was some video that didn't seem like anything was really said really bad. He was calling him by his first name that I guess he doesn't like. But I mean, don't go over there and the guy. I don't even know, to be honest. I just heard that was what sparked him. But for that game,
what is your biggest fear?
Like for that game, the running backs, I guess, are really, and I would take all four of them. Judkins broke his leg against the Bills. That was really ugly. But Raheem Sanders, Travion Williams, even. Steelers have Jaylen Warren and Gainwell both should have decent games after James Cook, what he did against that defense, and they're just not going to be able to throw the ball. So, that's all about that game. Again, another ugly one.
And just also for the record, I don't. DK Metcalf is in the wrong. I just want to put it out there. I just think it's just keep to yourself, fans. Sometimes you got to keep to yourself. Okay, next up is Jags versus Colts. What do you got, Lou?
I got Jags winning. I mean, I'll make this more about the Jags than anything. I have them winning the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think this is the best team in football right now. I think that they end up beating the Bills. My prediction of that AFC championship game that I'll be watching from the cruise.
Yeah.
But close enough. I think there'll be Buffalo in Jacksonville for that game. So, I can maybe swim. I don't have to swim as far and get up to Jacksonville for that game. I think that's the AFC championship. And I wonder if I think the Jags are the most complete team in football right now. They're playing good. They're playing great offensively. This Colts team Rivers looks like he has a little bit left in him, whatever. He's trying really hard, all 80 years of him. And I think that this will be a little bit closer than people think. So this is with an over under of 47.5. This is a game that I think you can get some fantasy points out of, whether it be ETN for the Jaguars, Parker Washington, he's the third guy there, but I think you have to start him most weeks. I think he might be the quote unquote third guy, but he's becoming Trevor Lawrence's favorite. BTJ is a little bit scary, but I think I'm starting all three of those wide receivers. And with the Colts, Phillip Rivers seems to really like Alec Pierce as he scored 2 touchdowns yesterday. So I would do that. And obviously you're playing Jonathan Taylor wherever you have him.
Yeah. And the Jags have just found that cool. They found their groove. And also Colts did have the coolest jerseys. The black and blue is very fun. It's very Backstreet Boys 2002. All right. Next up, we have Saints versus Titans, a game I don't care to watch.
No, another just crap one. I think these games like this late of the year with just 2 shitty teams are always kind of somewhat fun, and they could be fun fantasy wise and scoring wise because it's just 2 teams that just don't give a shit. Tyler Shuck, Cam Ward, both playing a lot better. Olave had a monster game last week. I expect that to happen again. I was really big on Estime. That didn't happen last week, but I wouldn't be shocked to see a bounce back there. And then for the Titans, I don't know how to play their running backs. You probably have to play them both as a flex, maybe. It's so tough. And then wide receiver DK is really the only one that you'd be starting there.
All right. Next up, we have Seahawks versus the Panthers.
Panthers are my pick to win the NFC South. They won last week against Tampa Bay, who they're competing with. I do think they lose this game. Seahawks are just so good right now. But then I think the Panthers still win the division next week versus the Bucs when they play them again. But 42.5 here over under Seahawks are -7 and the spread. I think figuring out their running backs each week are really tough. Bucky Irving just ran pretty decent against them, though. You probably have to start Kenneth Walker and Charbonnet in a flex role. And then the wide receivers, obviously JSN, Ted McMillan on the other side for the Panthers are 2 guys you're going to start with Coker and Shaheed, respectively on each side, guys that you can start in your flex position.
You said that with such poetic justice, and I really respect that. So next we're going to go to another a team I wish I thought was going to have more chutzpah, but did not. Cardinals versus Bengals. What do you got, Louis?
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one, though. I think these are 2 teams. I've over-unders 53.5. It started at 47.5. So, like, as I told you, like earlier, sometimes these games with 2 shitty player or teams at the end of the season just are fireworks. And I think this is going to be all the fireworks. I mean, I'm starting all the, both 2 top wide receivers on both teams. The tight ends on both teams are monsters. Both quarterbacks, like this is the game that will be most owned in daily fantasy. All these players should have really big games. So this is the game you want to circle. And if you have any of these skilled guys, feel lucky. And especially as we're going through these other games and seeing all the other shit games, like this is the game you want to circle and make sure you're playing all your players from this game.
All right, next up, before I release, I'm going to ask you this question first. It's leading. Who do you think Tom Brady has more knowledge on, the Giants or the Raiders? What do you got?
That's funny. I think we're going to see more of Tom Brady be involved in the Raiders after this horrible year didn't go out quite the way that they expected it to. Could be, I mean, the over-under is 41.5, but could be one of those games that that I've talked about that just, again, 2 bad teams, maybe some fireworks. I don't think so here. These 2 offenses have just looked like shit. Dart had minus points last week, another guy that just killed me in spots that I needed him. The running game, I guess Tyrone Tracy, I'm starting pretty confidently. Dart, I guess you have to start. Wandale, you have to start. Theo Johnson had a 0 last week. For the Raiders, Bowers, that's it. Bowers. Genty's back and forth. Genty had a really good game last week too. I don't know. Giants are pretty good against the run, but I think you still have to start Genty. I'm realizing here as we get to the end of these few games, I'm talking way more or less in confidence because I think week 16 just shook me as far as everything.
So speaking of tight ends, so again, I'm the only one of this podcast that made it to their finals. I'm sure Ryan has as well. But so tight ends, I have Fannin, Bowers, and I have Gadsden. I'm going to bench, I'm assuming. And
Gadsden's dead, but if you can start both tight ends, I would probably. If you have a flex position, I would probably
I
start
do.
both tight ends.
Fannin, had a killer week last week, but
yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And so did Bowers. Bowers had a pretty good week.
Miss, but yeah. So next up we have the team that I have as my defense and the great running back James Cook the third. We've got Eagles versus Bills. What do you got, Lou?
Yeah, I think this one could be fun. I fear how much like these teams are going to want to really show each other. Weather should be a little bit crap. It's 43.5, the over under. So that's pretty low for these two teams, especially the way the offenses are going. Josh is hurt. I think he'll be fine to play, but you can't tell me that foot thing is not real. He was limping pretty badly off the field. I think that's pretty real. I just think you're going to see a very vanilla game. Like the Bills don't need to win this necessarily. They can win next week. Or actually, no, they do need to win if the Patriots slip. But I think that's pretty realistic that Quinn Ewers or Brady Cook are not going to beat the Patriots for us, and that we're really just playing for, I don't want to say nothing at this point, but stay healthy, I think, is the big game. I think we'll see some blandness here. You have to play James Cook, obviously. You're never going to start Josh Allen even after a 5-point game. The tight ends are weird. The wide receivers are weird. You can't play any of them. Like you can't play skill guys right now for the Bills. And then for the Eagles, Barkley is going to have a huge game. I mean, Barkley play with confidence. He might be a top 3 running back this week. And then you got to start Antonio Brown. I don't love it, but you have to start him. And then Devontae Smith is a good flex play probably.
And to quote Louis, stay healthy. Great.
That's it. Just stay healthy.
I love it. By the way, but what a season, right? All right. Next up is the sleeper of the year. This game I think is going to be very good. Bears versus Niners. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, that could end up being for the top seed in the NFC. So if that's a crazy game there, it's going to be a really high scoring 52.5. Saw both teams look pretty good offensively this last week. I think the Bears are good. I know everybody just keeps on hoping or expecting it to fall apart. I think they're good. And I don't know if they'll get a Dunze back this week. I really needed him back this last week for fantasy, but if they do get him back, that's an added bonus for their offense. But DJ Moore is definitely a must start. The guys that on the 49ers, McCaffrey, Kittle, obviously must starts. And then it becomes, does the Dunze come back? Does Burden come back? Or are we looking at like Zacchaeus again for the Bears, Loveland? But with the 52.5 over under, with probably pretty good weather on a Sunday night with 49ers and all the eyes on the game, I think we're going to see some fireworks in that game. So I'd be pretty excited about starting most guys on that team or on that game.
I think that's going to be a fun one to watch. And then next up, another big showdown, Rams versus Falcons. What do you got, Louis?
That one's going to be, mostly Rams. What I'm excited about to see there with the higher spread and them being a pretty heavy favorite is if they're going to be running the ball a lot in this game. What does that look like? Is Kyron Williams still the lead guy there? Is Corum? Feels like that's getting to be more 50-50 there and tougher to decide. So I think you could start both of them. Bijan has been really good. He just hasn't been the top running back, which everybody wanted and expected him to be. So, and this is another tough matchup for him. I don't know if that works out great. their defense looked a little bit more vulnerable than it has this year against Seattle. I guess I'm still starting Drake London, still starting Kyle Pitts, still starting Bijan. And then, like I said, I think the most interesting thing from the Rams it doesn't seem like Devontae Adams will come back. So trying to pick who the number 2 wide receiver is with the Rams, I think that becomes Smith for me probably, but I'm back and forth on that. But the running situation with the Rams is what I'm most interested in, as I think Blake Corum might be taking over that job from Kyron Williams.
Ooh. All right. That was some hot takes. As we approach the last one of the last games of the season, are you exhausted? Are you exhausted by knowing all of that?
Yeah, for sure. You typed in the comment section and not the private chat. Oops. But but yes, we're good.
Let me see if here we go.
6
I'm
9,
fired,
6
everyone.
You got it. Yeah.
Do we want to talk about any closers of 26? Do we want to see if you want to? Do you need me?
We could draft next week. We could draft next week. Hopefully, we can get a time that works for the three of us, or the following week, and we'll talk more about 25 and things to look after 26. It might not be as many. Maybe the next time we are here, Ryan Mura is $100,000 more expensive because I think, or more rich because I think that's what he's playing for.
He's getting close, but he's got those cute little twins, so they're gonna need like a new canopy bed or something adorable.
Yeah.
Or he's gonna get a new dog. So just to go over you don't mind, we can stop that Rams Falcons banner. Do you can we go over?
I know. Okay.
Can we go over do I need to adjust my matchup for this week?
All right. So you have to go with Rodgers because you're forced with him, right?
Yes.
So, and then what are your running back options?
You got Jameson Williams right now. I have starting. Oh, I'm
what
sorry.
About running backs?
I have Cook and Saquon Barkley, which I'm happy.
Oh, those are two great. Yeah, they're gonna smash in that game together.
Yes. Oh, amazing. And then again, I have for wide receivers, I have Jameson Williams and T. Higgins. And then for tight end, right now I have Bowers, I have Fannin Jr. in as my flex. Aubrey in Dallas has been very good to me. He's Dallas kicker. And then Philly is my defense. Now, Jacksonville is projected to be better. They're playing Indy. Their bench. Do I switch up Philly versus Jacksonville?
So wait, you have Jacksonville and Indy?
Jacksonville is playing Indy, but Philly,
yeah.
I have Philly. They're my in right now. They're
starting. Oh no, you're playing Jacksonville. You're playing Jacksonville.
You think I'm playing Jacksonville?
Yeah, against Phillip Rivers for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh
yeah, that's the play. But I like where you're at, your other starters. I think you just keep that and
I have Tucker. I've got and I have Myers as a wide receiver as well. And then I also have Javonte Williams, who is questionable, which I don't think he's playing.
No, I put the two tight ends. Who?
Romeo Dobbs.
No. How many wide receivers you get to pick?
2.
2. No, your 2 wide receivers will be Jameson Williams and
T. Higgins.
Yep. And then I would put Fannin in as your flex.
Yep, which he is.
And then
Philly with
Jacksonville, and I think you got a championship. So next time we'll see if you're a champion and if Ryan Mura has some money for me to borrow.
Yeah, no, okay. So here's the fun thing. What are some things we're going to borrow? We're going to take Ryan's money to do.
Buy new podcast equipment, pay some more, use more paid promotion. More paid promotion.
How much of Ryan's money will go towards his Wi-Fi?
Yes. Can we just do that? Can we just make sure he gets better Wi-Fi? That's all. That's the only thing. If he wins anything over $20,000, he needs to really invest in new Wi-Fi.
So good luck to Ryan. We're so proud of him. Louis, I know you have a few teams still in the running. So good luck. And everyone listening, thank you for listening. We really appreciate it. We hope if you celebrate, we hope you have a lovely Christmas, lovely holiday. We'll see you next week. But thanks for listening and good luck. This is it's getting down to it. This is the fun stuff. We're scoreboard watching.
Have a good night.